protection insurance. Well, joining us from Leeds is Giuseppe Fontana, who's Head of Economics at the University of Leeds Business School. Good morning to you. I wonder what you make of those figures that were released this morning.
Good morning. Certainly not nice figures, but in a certain way we're expecting those numbers because, as you said in your presentation, really Lloyds CSB numbers in part are justified by casting us out 3.3 billion for mis-selling payment protection insurance.
What about the exposure to the problems in Ireland? Do you think the worst damage has been done to their profits for the time being?
Well, I think you need to separate the two issues. The specific issues, which is related to the mis-sold of this payment protection insurance, from a more general issues, that is the situation of the banking system in UK, Europe and in the world more generally. The reality is that the banking system is really a proxy for the uncertain economic condition they are prevailing in UK and Europe and the United States. So if you take that into consideration, in other words, these are the more general issues, I think banks face two major challenges. The first one is that with a fragile economy, there is a problem for consumer paying back their loans, which is going to affect the profitability of banks, and that's what happened, for instance, with Lloyds CSB in Ireland, where they have lost a few billion for that reason, but also because there is a fragile economy, there are a subdued loans demand. In other words, firms demand, entrepreneurs demand less loans for their businesses, which again is going to affect the profitability of the banking system, in particular Lloyds in this case.
You mentioned the economic outlook. It is fairly gloomy. We heard Robert Choate in The Independent this morning talking about downgrading their forecast for economic growth this year. Yes. What can the banks do to kickstart things economically? Because people do say they're not lending enough money right now. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's banks really, they're trying to do their own job. But the problem is we live in a very uncertain economic situation. Don't forget that there are also funding problems for the banking system, in part related to what is happening in Europe with the government debt crisis. As you may have mentioned in the program before, as the interest rate on government bonds goes up, the value of those government bonds goes down, which means that the asset of those banks are less valuable. As a result, the banks find it more difficult to fund activity in the market, which is going to affect all banks because they are related to each other. So this is a major issue that, in a sense, it's a global issue which policymakers really should consider globally.
Well, Giuseppe Fontana joining us from Leeds. Thank you very much.